Hello everybody, it's E-Man and I'm back again with some more news. Well, I don't have much news, sorry. I didn't do much research. I'm still looking for celebrities doing good things. So if you know any celebrity with a nonprofit organization, donating their money, doing something good, helpful to people, let me know, comment, and I'll cover it on the next show. But today I want to cover, of course, the black people's getting shot by white police officers. But I don't want to look at it the way everybody else is looking at it. I want to take a look at it from a different perspective. Okay, so yes, it's 100% wrong. What they're doing is wrong. Police officers are wrong. They're not going to jail. A lot of people saying the laws need to be changed. The laws are in place. A lot of the police officers have been, well, because they pled not guilty, they've gone to court, but a jury said that they were not guilty. So maybe that means there needs to be more people of color on the jury stand. I don't know. Maybe they need to have a judge that's a person of color. But at the end of the day, it's not the laws. It's the fact that when they go to court, people consider them to not be guilty. And then you got to ask yourself, why would a person have knowledge that this police officer shot someone for no reason and still think he's not guilty? There has to be something in their mindset that makes them believe they're not guilty. And you can say, well, because they're racist, blah, 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 blah. Well, you got to start looking at the truth and the facts. Okay, so before I start this, let me say this. You cannot justify the wrong that you do, ignore the wrong that you do, in the process of condemning someone else's wrong. You have to make sure you are perfect first and doing everything you can do to become perfect before you start messing with someone else's life. With that said, I have a question for you. Why should white people think Black Lives Matter when black people do not think Black Lives Matter? Let's start with this, the Bloods and the Crips. When a mother loses her child to black on black crime, there are a lot of cases where the whole neighborhood knows who did it, but no one is stepping up to the police because they don't want to be snitch. So you have to think of it this way. You're a mother, you just lost your child, and every day that you walk around the neighborhood, you're looking at faces who can bring justice to your child, but they choose not to. So when you think of it that way, when a black person chooses not to be a snitch to get justice for a black boy who is now dead 6 feet deep in the ground, why should anyone, black, Hispanic, Asian, anyone think Black Lives Matter? Because if we truly believe Black Lives Matters, number one, we wouldn't be shooting each other. We wouldn't be killing each other. You have all of these black women on TV talking about each other, throwing drinks at each other, pulling each other's hair and weaves out. Why would anyone believe that we actually believe Black Lives Matter when that's what we're doing to people? We're doing that to ourselves. People stealing, black people stealing from each other, robbing each other, holding each other up, and just doing crime against each other, raping each other. Why would anyone believe that we believe Black Lives Matter when we don't even treat each other right? As soon as a black person is not black enough, and what does black mean? Do you realize our culture is not this hip-hop culture? That is not black culture. Black culture is how they live in Africa. That's the original black culture. We created a new black American, because I'm pretty sure that they don't talk street in France. The black people in France, they speak French. And so American black people created a new culture, and now they expect all black people to live that way, and if they don't, they're ridiculed. But the question is, why do I have to be a new culture that you created? Why create it in the first place? Why can't we just all be black because our skin is black, but that's it, nothing else? Our food, our way of dancing, our clothing, our style, nothing else has to be black, just our skin. And so when you treat black people incorrectly, then yes, white people are going to think it's okay. Why? Because you teach people how to treat you. And so if a police officer, a white police officer, knocks on your door and says, do you know who killed Ray Ray? And they know you know, and you say no, why should they believe you think Black Lives Matter? And if they see that you don't care that Black Lives Matter, why should they care? Answer that. And I know you have all the lies and justifications that you want to tell yourself to make it seem like it's okay, but you are a hypocrite. a hypocrite to say something bad against white people without dealing with black people first. As black people, we need to do better with each other. Okay, we need to stop judging each other and condemning each other and killing each other and raping each other and stealing from each other and start loving each other. I remember watching something on Facebook, Sammy Davis Jr., hopefully you know him. He was being interviewed, and this was after in the 70s, so things weren't perfect, but as far as discrimination, it was better. And someone had asked him, what do you think about America now that, you know, things are better? And he actually said he doesn't like it. He said because during the time of discrimination, black people were friendlier with each other. They actually got along. They had a camaraderie, whatever that word is. And they loved each other. They had each other's back. They didn't talk about each other. And he said as soon as people started to get free and get their freedom and their rights, black people started to divide. And I think that is really sad. That is sad that a man who lived in an age of racism and discrimination, who transfers over to integration, says he liked it better when things were discriminated, when he was segregated. That is sad. That goes to show you we need to do better. Why would someone like a black person enjoy segregation better than integration? We did that. We got our freedom and now we don't care about each other. We need to get rid of the gangs and the Bloods and the Crips. We need to get rid of the drugs. Yes, it's a shame that black people go to jail longer, but we know that. So then why do we keep doing that? We now have that knowledge that if you are a black man caught with drugs, you go to jail longer than white people. You have that knowledge, then why are you messing with drugs? Leave it alone. I mean, you can fuss, you can fight, but at the end of the day, that's the truth. And unless you have plans on becoming the president and changing that truth, it is what it is. Stay away from the drugs. So we as black people need to not only treat each other better, but we need to become better. We need to own our own businesses. Why is every black neighborhood that's majority black, most of the businesses are not black owned? We need to have our own businesses. We need to stay away from the drugs. We need to get out of the gangs. We need to stop killing each other, stabbing and shooting each other, and start loving each other. And then when people see how we respect each other, they're going to start respecting us. I saw another article saying that abortion deaths in the black community is 69-1, meaning that every time one black person is killed, there are 69 black abortions. And you say Black Lives Matter, that is a life in there, and people say no, it's not. Well, if it's not, why are you getting an abortion? Because if it's not a life, you don't need an abortion. Duh. And so apparently we just don't, it's a cliche. It sounds good. It sounds like that's what we should be doing, Black Lives Matter, because white people are killing us. But black people are killing us more than white people are killing us. And so it's time for the black people to start dealing with themselves and stop lying to themselves and justifying. Yes, it is wrong. But as they say, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. A smoker cannot tell an alcoholic what he's doing is wrong. I don't care that it's two different things. The fact that what you're doing is wrong, you cannot open your mouth and talk about someone else's wrong until you get right. It's that simple. You can't be messing with heroin and then telling someone who's doing cocaine, oh, you're horrible, how could you do that? Hello, hypocrite. You can't justify that. You cannot justify wrongdoing so you feel okay when you condemn someone else. It doesn't work like that. You first have to get a mirror, look at yourself and see what you're doing wrong, because I don't care what wrong is happening in your life. Anything you receive is a mirror image of what you already gave. So if black people are receiving this, we gave it. So then we have to look in the mirror and say, what am I giving that's causing me to receive this? And then if I don't like what I'm receiving, I got to stop giving it. You can lie, you can justify, you can, yeah, well, but that's, as you can see, that's not doing anything. Because if it was, it would have stopped by now. But the fact that it keeps going on shows you that you as an individual black person have to start seeing what you're doing wrong, shut your mouth about what everybody else is doing, mind your business, and work on yourself. Okay? One last thing I want to say. And you can say I'm wrong, I don't care. But if you actually take a look at society, no matter how much they're made fun of, no matter how much you want to say something, out of all of the nationalities and ethnicities, Asian people are respected the most. And you want to know why? Because whether they're Korean, Japanese, Chinese, Indian, they respect each other. And they have hundreds of gods that they worship, and you never see them arguing with each other about gods. You never see them arguing each other about anything. You don't see them on television pulling each other's hair, throwing drinks at each other, fighting with each other. You don't see that. They respect each other. They don't care how different they are. They still respect and honor each other, which is why they receive respect and honor. Why? Because what you give to life or to the earth or to the universe, that's what you get back. And until black people start respecting and honoring, you cannot respect a black person and pull their hair and throw drinks at them and kill them and rape them. You can't, and do drugs. I mean, respect yourself first. If you respect yourself and your body and your temple, what are you doing putting that stuff in your system? Hello. And so it's time now. If you really want to see a change, there's only one way you can see change in your life, in your home, in your job, in your school, in your church. There's only one way. Your neighborhood, your city, your state. There's only one way. There is absolutely no other way you can see change. There's only one way. And you know what that way is? You change. You don't expect anybody else to change. You don't try to change. You don't vote to change, because voting never does anything. You don't vote someone to change. No. You look at your life and see everything you're doing wrong, things you can be doing better, things you need to stop doing, and you day by day change. You ignore it. Mind your business about what everybody else is doing. Don't look at them. As the Bible says, you see a speck in someone else's eye while you have a whole tree branch in your own. In other words, you're always looking at somebody else's sin. Look at your own and fix your own. Mind your business. As I say, don't be sweeping my doorstep and your porch is just as filthy. Worry about yourself. The Bible says when Jesus returns, make sure your house is in order. In other words, stop worrying about what everybody else is doing wrong and focus on yourself. If you know for sure you are not 100% perfect, then mind your business. Yeah, well, at least I'm not. It doesn't matter. You don't get to measure good and bad. Who gave you the authority to measure that your bad is less than someone else's? Think about that for a moment. How arrogant are you to think that you have the authority to decide what you're doing wrong is less than what someone else is doing? That's arrogance, ignorance, and just stupidness. And so forget about the white people. Ignore them. It's time for black people to start evaluating their own life and saying, this is what I can do better. I can speak better. I don't have to be you and nigga this and all that stuff. Change your words. Change how you speak to people. Change how you address people. You know, kindness. You know, just figure out what you, seriously, and you already know what you need to do. You already know what you need to change. Change it. And don't, no justification. Because think about it this way, if you have to justify it, obviously it's wrong. So just simply stop doing it. You never have to justify the right things in life. You never have to justify why you put your left shoe on your left foot, but you do have to justify why you put your left shoe on your right foot. Because it's wrong. Duh. So if you're justifying it's wrong, don't justify wrong, simply stop doing it. I hope this helps you, and I hope you challenge yourself to get over this protesting, because protesting has never worked. Boycotting does, but most importantly, changing your lifestyle. Making sure you're doing 100% correct. Make sure you're 100% perfect. Well, it's possible to be 100. Well, then that means you need to keep working on yourself, and the more you work on yourself, the less you'll notice that there really is nothing wrong with the world. It's all you. When you change, the cities change, the state change, your church change, everything changes when you change. Don't be selfish and stupid and expect everybody else to change while you remain the same. That is irresponsibility and immaturity. Okay? So change, black people. Change yourself. The way you think, the way you speak, the way you walk, the way you spend your money. Change. And when you change, you will notice a change, because whatever you give is what you're going to receive. Have a great day.